Hey, welcome to the Oakley Podcast, Trucking Business Family. I'm Jeremy Kellett, your host for this podcast, along with Miss Megan Cummings, my co-host.
Good morning.
What's happening with you today?
Just happy to be here. Another day in the neighborhood.
Good. We got a great episode
Yeah.
lined up here. A lot of people been waiting for this one to come out because I've got my good friend, orientation coordinator, consultant, advisor, list a few other things, expert on lawn mowing, great grandpa,
right,
and a good husband. Mr. Randolph Rochell is joining us, and we're going to visit with him a little bit on his life story, his story at Oakley, some of the things that are important to him, what he does on a daily basis, and I also think it's good for a lot of our listeners are recruits that are coming in, and they get to talk to Randolph or listen to Randolph a little bit about what he does here and what to expect in orientation. So a lot to cover. Randolph Rochell coming up here in a minute, but first, as always, Megan, we got to thank our sponsors. Aero Truck Sales, Lube Zone do a good job. Hey, do we have any questions? Did you grab those questions? We were asking people to, have you had some questions? We wanted to answer them. Mm-hmm. So the one is the national tire count. Yes, we have a national tire count. Actually, Randolph probably knows a little bit about it too. But with Goodyear and with Michelin, we have that. Right. We get actually you put a credit card on file with us. That way, you get those discounts when you're out on the road for your truck. For sure, and it's a great discount too. We can save you a lot of money by doing that. But it's Goodyear and Michelin, isn't that all, Randolph?
Yes, sir. Goodyear and Michelin.
Goodyear and Michelin. So, a good question on that. Y'all keep the questions coming. We want to try to incorporate some of that into the episode and do a little something different. But what's going on with Megan Cummings?
Well, you ask me this every week, and every week after you ask me, I'm like, okay, next week I have to start thinking about. I just have to make something up really quick. I've got a week to do it. And I always forget. It's just, everything's going the same. Same. Good. How
about at your desk? Anything different?
I got a new keyboard.
Nice.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, that's new. It's always something nice to see whenever I come in. I got a birthday next week. I got a birthday next week. That's what's new.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I expect a happy birthday next week.
This will probably be coming out then.
Oh, yeah, this is a birthday episode for Megan. It's my birthday gift.
/ Randolph.
Yes.
She's taking you glory here, Randolph.
I know it. Megan got a chance to do some recruiting this week too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I got a couple bites.
Nice.
Yeah, working on some applications.
Now you got a couple that are here.
Yes. Well, I've got one.
One.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
He's still here. He's a great guy. I'm biased.
Of course.
Obviously, but I think he's pretty great.
Well, Randolph is the one that he gives you the grade.
Oh.
As they come through orientation, he tells you whether.
I didn't even think about that.
Good
Remind me to get with you after the episode.
Exactly.
He does.
To get your official grade.
I'll let you know all about your guys.
But anyway, hey, back to the listeners, back to the questions. Keep them coming. Y'all check out our sponsors. Do your best to take care of them and use them. They've been with us since day one. And share our episodes with everybody. We have, if you haven't seen the Luigi episode a couple of weeks ago, blew up. Mm-hmm. Completely blew up. It's a great episode. Got a lot of thousands of views on it, and it's really getting out there. Y'all need to share that. You need to listen to it if you haven't and watch it. I would recommend you watch it.
Yes.
On YouTube. It's really good. And if you haven't, share it with everybody and spread the word about us. So if you got questions, you can ask me and Megan questions on any social media platforms, Facebook page, TikTok, whatever, YouTube videos, on YouTube channel. You can comment down there and ask us questions, and we'll do our best to answer them for you.
A used semi-truck is a great way to kick off your career as an owner-operator on a budget, and buying from a reputable dealer like Aero Truck Sales ensures you're getting a reliable truck that fits your needs. They carry trucks from all the major manufacturers in the trucking industry and perform a thorough inspection of every truck on their lot to ensure safety and quality and give you confidence that you're getting a reliable truck that will last you for years at a price that you can afford. Being a longtime partner with Oakley Trucking and the Oakley Podcast, we trust them to provide our owner-operators with a truck that fits their needs and matches our qualifications. So whether you're a first-time owner-operator or just looking for a new-to-you rig, be sure to give Keith Wilson and Trey Visor a call at 573-216-6047 and let them know you heard it here on the Oakley Podcast.
Let's get started here with Randolph Rochell, also known as Double R.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And I bet I'm the only one that knows this, ain't I?
What?
What your third name is?
Yeah.
Slow Motion.
Slow motion.
Slow
Annabelle,
motion?
Annabelle said she knew that.
I didn't know that. Was that your handle? Your CB
That's my
handle?
CB handle. Justin Oakley know about it too. He called me Slow Motion every now and then.
Slow motion.
Oh, Justin Oakley, he's okay.
How'd you get that CB handle?
Oh, I got it when I was going to school. I went to trucking school.
What
The
year?
guys over in the trucking school tried to give me a name. And the name they gave me, I didn't like. So I said, no, you got to come up with a different name. I ain't going to say that name on the radio because Miss Vicky might be listening, so. She will. But anyway, we come up with the Slow Motion. That's where I got it from, going to school, trucking school. Them guys always give you a name over there, so. They gave me Slow Motion. It kind of fit me, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I remember them slow motion days.
Yeah.
When did you go to trucking school, Randolph?
Oh, back in 92.
92.
I went over to Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Did 3 weeks of trucking. Great.
What made you get into trucking?
Oh, man, that's a good question, Jeremy. I don't know. I used to just work a factory job, and, I wanted to do something more for my family. I wanted to make some money where I can do some things for my family, invest, buy a house. So I decided, me and my wife decided that it was okay for me to go to drive a truck.
So you've only been doing it since 92?
No, I got the year wrong.
Oh.
86.
Oh.
Because I started with J.B. Hunt in 86. Went over and talked to J.B. Hunt, and they sent me to trucking school. And that trucking school was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Went 3 weeks, came out, drove for J.B. Hunt for 6 years, finished up with J.B. Hunt, and decided to become my own operator. So,
Wow.
own operator was something I always wanted to do, too.
Now, you mentioned family a while ago.
Right.
Tell us about your family.
Oh, that's a good thing. Family.
Then we'll get on with your career.
Yeah. Family, I've been married for 40 years. I ended up marrying Miss Vicky. We ended up having 3 boys, 3 grandkids. I have a great family. We love to just sit around the house and watch television.
You guys just got a new house a couple years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, we've been buying too many houses. That's my downfall. We've been buying all kinds of houses. Yeah, I just got a house 2 years ago, though, for sure. We used to live we always have kind of lived in Scott over the last 15 years. But we built the house. This is a long story. I'm not going to talk about this alone. But we built the house, moved out of it, and signed up for another house, stayed in it for a couple of years. Not let it went, but decided to buy another house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one we're living in now. But we've been living in this house now for about 3 years, which, I don't know. I think this is going to be our retirement house. I'm not planning on moving anymore. I'm going to stay right there. But back to the point on family, I have a great family. Miss Vicky's beautiful wife, and I love her, and we got 3 beautiful grandkids, man. Them grandkids are the pride and joy.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
I hear
gives
that's
me-
the best part about having kids.
Yeah.
Is the grandkids.
Grandkids. Now, my boys, I love my boys. They all doing great.
Well, you came from a big family.
Oh, yeah. I come from a family of 10. 6 boys and 4 girls. Wow. We still close. All same mom and dad. That's a rare.
Yeah.
Mom's still, all 10 of them still alive?
No, 2 of them passed away. 2 of my sisters, but 8 of them are still here.
8. And
Mom's still living.
Yeah.
My mom is 87 years old. Just talked to her this morning. She called me Shanky.
She wondering why you ain't headed that way.
She wants to know why I'm not headed that way. She really, she asked me, my mom is great. You know, she said, Shanky, I just want to know what y'all headed to Dallas today. I heard you were going to Dallas. And I want to know what you're going to Dallas. I said, sure, Mama, we're going to leave about 1. She said, okay, I just wondering.
I'm still checking up on you,
Oh,
huh?
Yeah. Then she come back and said, I got a little work for you to do, but since you're going to Dallas, you don't have to do it today. But yeah, that's my family. I have a great family. We are very close.
Are y'all from Arkansas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Star City, Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
About 70 miles south of here.
Mama still lives there.
Mama still live there.
You got a brother or two down there?
Brother, I got a brother and a sister down there.
Okay.
That's where I graduated from. Went to high school, graduated. Played football. I was a real good football player.
Yeah.
Some people don't even know that. I played football.
Yeah.
Got a couple offers in college.
Randolph,
yeah.
you just been keeping all this stuff to yourself?
Yeah, maybe.
Come on.
But after that, I came up here and went to some school, a couple schools, trying to get my career together. But I decided to, just get a job. And
Were you and Vicky married when you went to truck driving school? You said you were, didn't you?
yeah, we was married. I was working for a plant over here by the name of Tarco. And believe it or not, I took 3 weeks vacation just to go to this school.
Oh.
I took 3 weeks, and I told them I needed 3 weeks to get myself together, and I went to this
Truck driving school.
truck driving school, got out, became a trucker.
Wow. And the rest is history.
Now back on that, so you got JB Hunt,
Right,
and you decided to become an owner operator.
right.
What kind of truck? What was your first truck you bought?
About an 86 model Freightliner, believe it or not, cab over. Had a 400 Cummings.
You know what a cab over is?
Sure. Absolutely not. I was just going to go with it. Like,
You know what a
okay.
cab over is?
No.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know how to describe a cab over. They don't have the long hood on.
Okay.
They're just kind of like a
Flat
boxed
front.
in.
Oh, why? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Just a boxed in
Just say a
truck. They
flat
don't have a
front.
hood.
Flat front, you sit on top of the motor, basically. is
Yeah.
underneath
oh,
you.
okay. Got it. All
And
right.
that truck was only getting me 4 miles per gallon.
And when you have an accident, you're the first one there.
Oh.
Yeah.
First at the scene.
It's kind of dangerous because you're sitting right there on everything, on the motor, and it's just straight down in front of you.
Wow.
Yeah, I kept that truck for a couple of years, and then I bought me
Did you go to Oakley when you bought it, or
I bought that truck to bring to Oakley.
Was Oakley the reason you made the decision to become an owner operator?
Yeah, I just wanted to be an owner operator in a way.
how'd you hear about them?
Scott asked me that question earlier. How did I hear about Oakley? That's surprising. I did ain't too much research you can do back in my days of driving, but I still seen the trucks running around the local area and you on the CB radio, so you asking other drivers, hey, what y'all doing over at Oakley? And they was telling me, hey, you can come over to Oakley and all they're going to run you is 5 states. You could be home almost every day. I said, yeah, that's what I want. Because with JB Hunt, you used to stay out a week or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be home with the family every day. Family is very important.
So who hired you over at Oakley?
Oh, Lord. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
We're the only one that gets that. So
Is that right? Y'all going to have to. But anyway, Mac Holloman. Mac was my hiree.
That's who you talk to?
Yes, Mac Holloman. I walked in there. And y'all don't know Mac. You know Mac?
Mm-mm, I think.
Jeremy know Mac real good. But anyway,
yeah.
Mac is the one used to sit down and he look over them glasses at you. I mean, my wife came down to Oakley with me when we first started the process. And Mac would look over those glasses. And my wife said, Mac told me, hey, walk over there and fill that application out. He was thorough just like that. I need you to walk over there and fill that application out. And me and Vicky was over there filling the application out. And you know how a lady does, she was whistling. She said, I don't like that guy. You ain't gonna work here. I said, hold on, wife, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And I filled it out, and Mac told me he'd get with me the next day or so. And matter of fact, the next day or so, he called me. Matt called me. I went over to International, got the truck, brought it down here. They put me on the load. No orientation.
No, nothing.
No
Just-
training. Just one guy. I ran with one guy though. He went with me to Inslee, Alabama. That's my first load. Load of roofing granulates. Pick them up at 3M. Take them to Inslee, Alabama.
And that was in what year?
I was in 92. That's
92.
the year I started with Oakley.
Okay.
32 years of Oakley. Be 33 in March. Awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Great.
But that's how I got started. Mac Holloman. Can you believe that?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I got started.
How long? Okay, so were you, Jeremy? Did you come on after Randolph?
Yes.
What year were you?
I was 94.
Oh, okay.
I dispatched Randolph some.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd set in when somebody go on vacation. His dispatcher, Don Griffin,
Don Griffin.
used to be his dispatcher. When Don be on vacation, I'd set in and dispatch Don's trucks for him. And of course, Randolph
Yeah.
was one of them. He was back then. He was on the gravy train by the end, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was
I
doing that stuff
dedicated haul.
down to Louisiana and back.
Yeah, that's good. Great.
Yeah, that was.
Spring Hill one day,
That's what it
Bachelor the
was.
next day, you know. Great haul.
You did that for a while.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
How long did you drive at Oakley?
8 years.
Okay.
8 years.
And then what happened?
You know, people ask me this all the time. They ask me, Randolph, how you get in the office? And I got one of the most weird. It's not weird. It's the most I don't know the word for it. But anyway, how I got into the office, how I got from the truck to the office. People ask me that so much, I be wondering, do I have blowns in the office? 'Cause they're like,
Well,
come
Why
on, what's
they
wrong with
ask-
me being in the office?
yeah, I don't ever get asked that question.
I get that question all the time.
Yeah.
I say, one day, I used to always haul fertilizer for Oakley too. You know, I was their main fertilizer guy. And I always pull in on them scales. And back in my days, their little gathering room was always right around the scale. What I mean, the fertilizer guys and Dennis Oakley and those type guys. But anyway, one day I pulled in there, jumped out of my truck to get me a ticket to go pick up another load. And Dennis was standing there. And I said, hey, Dennis, how you doing? You know, me and Dennis had that kind of relationship. And he said, hey, Randolph, what you doing? And I said, oh, not much, finna pick up another load of fertilizer. And they were sitting there talking about they had got another port. And I say, hey, Dennis, you know what? The next time you get a port, I want to run it. That's what I told him. He said, oh, yeah? Well, good, Randolph. That's what he said. He said, I'll look into that. And I left it alone. It's kind of like a joke, just kind of talking. Mm-hmm. I left it alone, and I bet you about 3 months later, less than 3 months, I pulled on them scales to pick up a load, and he was standing pretty much in the same location. He said, hey, Randolph, guess what? I need to talk to you about something. I said, okay. He said, pull around the lot and come in the office. I need to talk to you. He said, hey, Randolph, I got a port I want you to run. He said, I want you and your wife to go look at it this weekend, and let me know what you think about it. Mm-hmm. And I went down and looked at the port, came back, and he was standing a distance away, and he threw me some keys. And I caught the keys. He said, hey, you the man for the job. Mm-hmm. And I went down and ran a port for him for 6 years.
Wow.
Came back up here, and they stuck me with Jeremy.
He been wanting to go back to the port ever since.
That's the way I became. That's where I got in the office. That's a coincidence, you know, that a man would get a port.
That port, the lease come up, or we didn't release the property, and so
they had proposals on it,
something like that.
And the guy,
what port was it? Yellow Bend.
It was the Chico, D-Shake County port down in McGee, Lake Village area.
Okay.
And we were leasing that port, and it came up where you could make a proposal on it, you know, and the best proposal wasn't Oakley. Mm-hmm. Dennis made his, but Dennis said he wasn't going any different, so the guy made a better one, and they took his.
Yeah.
Made an offer. We can say an offer.
So they didn't stick you back in the truck. They send you back this
No,
way.
no.
Okay, so.
No, I was too good to get. No, I ain't gonna say I'm good. The truckers is okay. Now, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Well, there's a picture. I did want to, before we stop talking about you and the truck, there's a picture out there of you in a hat out by the doors going out to the yard. Do you know anything about that picture? You know where that picture was taken?
I think that picture is. I wanted to look at that picture again, but this picture is when I was. I also in a trucking competition.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas have an Arkansas truck driving championship every year, where they take certain drivers from different companies and you go down and compete with one another in different divisions. So I entered
it's
that
like an
one.
obstacle course
Yeah.
Really?
that you drive the tractor trailer and they grade you on the obstacle course and how good you're doing. And there's also and then there's also a written test, and there's also
Obstacle, like you
inspection test. So it's done every year. Arkansas Trucking Association does
They
it.
still have it going?
Yeah, every summer.
Really?
say. Yeah, every year.
And we did it. We can go ahead and tell it.
We don't enter it no more. I wish we would though, but it was very great. Good thing to do. But I entered back in '90, about the second year I was here at Oakley. Ron Davis or someone asked me to enter it.
No, it was probably 96,
It was some
7. It was somewhere in there because I was here, and Ron Davis was here. He come just a little bit after me, so it was like 96 or 7, somewhere in there.
But yeah, I entered. Got lucky. I mean, got lucky and I won. Won first place.
Really?
That was awesome too, because you go to the convention center over here, and you don't really know who I won until they get up and they call your name. The president of the trucking association get up and call third, first, second, and third, and Ron had told me, Randolph, I think you did pretty good in it. I said, yeah, and I was a rookie my first time in it, and I went over there and they got to calling names, and my wife said, no, you didn't win it. You third place.
She's a naysayer, isn't she?
Come on.
Yeah, she was thinking, and then the second place, I didn't. And then they say, and now we have our first place winner, who is a rookie from Oakley Trucking, Randolph Rochell. And my wife jumped up high as that table. And my kids were with me. Man, that was one of the greatest best feeling of my life to win that championship, Arkansas Trucking Championship Award. And my kids were so happy because I had always tell my kids, hey, I want first place. I don't want no second and third. So when I was over there competing, they were going from every obstacle. Daddy, you know what you told us? We want first place. And I won first place, and they was excited for that, Dad, and I was too. I was really excited.
We should have been. That was that's a big deal.
I ended up going to Tampa, Florida.
To the Nationals.
To the Nationals.
Wow.
And I ended up finishing about 15th up there out of 52 drivers. So that wasn't really bad.
good.
But
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Do you still have, did they give you any kind of a trophy or anything?
Ma'am, excuse me?
Did they give you any kind of a trophy?
Not in the national, but yeah, here in the state.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I got a plaque. I took it home. It stayed up here for a while. I also had something we had in the orientation room, a picture of me in the orientation room. So it was great. I mean,
Well, he also had, I don't know where, because they did an article on you.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, that was
That might be with the picture.
that
you're
was a
talking
different
about.
deal. That didn't have anything to do with the Arkansas Truck Driving Association.
Oh my gosh.
Lord, Megan.
We had he did a owner operator profile for a magazine. I think it was Overdrive magazine, wasn't it, Randolph?
Arkansas. Yeah, Overdrive. It wasn't Arkansas. It was Overdrive.
Overdrive magazine. He did a owner operator profile that they came, interviewed him, took pictures of him.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
Randolph.
Yeah, man.
You're in the presence of a. This ain't no.
This whole time I was?
This ain't no orientation coordinator. You're in the presence of somebody here.
Oh man, yeah, I won that. That was great too. That lady came down they originally from Alabama.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
Still
they
are.
came down. We spent all day taking pictures.
Yep.
And
It's hard being a celebrity, isn't it?
Oh,
Oh, bless your heart.
I'm proud of myself though. You need to be proud of yourself always. I don't boast on myself, but you ought to feel good.
We
about
know you
yourself.
don't, because I didn't know how. Everything that you just said is news to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. I had a great life.
So
Thank God for it.
back to the port closed.
Mm-hmm.
What we gonna do with Randolph?
Yeah.
What's Randolph gonna do now?
I told you.
We're, okay.
Here come Benny up to me and said, "Hey, you think you could use Randolph in recruiting?" I said, "Well, sure. I'm sure I can somehow." Said, "All right, he's going to work with you." I said, "Fantastic."
LubeZone has been servicing single trucks and truck fleets for more than 20 years across 12 locations nationwide. LubeZone specializes in quick, full-service oil changes that take approximately 30 to 40 minutes. They also offer tractor-trailer grease, gearbox service, generator service, reefer service, and DOT inspections. They aim to go the extra mile when it comes to quality control. This means your tractor is checked not only once, but 2 times to ensure all service and parts meet their guaranteed quality and standards. No other service center knows semi-trucks better than LubeZone. If your truck needs serviced, check out lubezone.com to find all of their locations, and when you stop by, let them know you heard it here on the Oakley Podcast.
I asked Benny, I wanted to be a dispatcher.
Did you
Because
really?
he kind of asked me, well, Randolph, he thought about sending me to New Mexico.
Mm.
But he said, you don't want that, Randolph. You don't want that. So I said, I kind of want to be a dispatcher. I always felt like I was a people person, I could relate to the drivers. Benny said, man, Randolph, you don't want to be stuck behind that computer. I said, okay. I said, what I'm going to do? He said, I got something for you. I guess he had already talked to you, Jeremy. He said, I'm going to put you over here in recruiting. He put me over in recruiting, and I've been over there ever since.
What year was that?
I think about 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that point, you had been here. When did you say you started?
92.
92. Okay.
8. I drove 8, ran the port 6, came up here in 06. Been 18 years I've been in recruiting.
Okay.
That's
So
awesome.
you were
Wow.
you were in recruiting as a recruiter
Mm-hmm.
whenever you first started. What was orientation like before that? Was there
Oh yeah, we had orientation.
okay.
We had it going on. The recruiters did it
Oh, okay.
basically. Me and I don't even remember who we had at the time.
Russell.
Russell was recruiting at that time
Yeah,
with
'cause
me.
Russell trained me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably didn't know Russell was a recruiter.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Russell for a while.
But that's a good story because Russell trained me. And how I really became the overall orientation guy, me and Jeremy kind of had the same feelings. Do you remember that, Jeremy? Because I was almost to ask him, could I do it? And he was almost to ask me, did I want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of crashed up together. So I've really been doing that for about 10 years, the overall orientation.
Yeah.
So
Well,
how did that happen?
Well, it got. I mean, we needed some stability there every week of somebody that was responsible for these guys during orientation and to help guide them of what's going on instead of us. We were back then. We were just send somebody who's in next. I'd be watching if
exactly.
that door was open, and then who's going in there next to talk to them, and then we'd just give them the keys, and they'd go get them a sandwich somewhere, and we give them the keys one time, and they were gone for like 2 hours. They went to some buffet down in Benton.
Oh my god.
I said,
Brown Cafe down there.
Brown's Cafe. That's what it was. I was like, man, we got to get a handle on this. So, it just worked out good, and I. Believe it or not, Randolph was a little timid in the beginning,
Yeah, man.
to work with these guys, and we had many conversations because when you get a room full of truck drivers, I mean, love them to death, but they can take over real fast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you're not careful, they'll they'll take over the conversation and what we're trying to get done here. So Randolph had to really toughen up, I would say, in the beginning. I kept saying, Randolph, you're going to have to get control right first thing when you get them in there. You remember that?
Yeah, exactly. Because those guys, I could leave here on a Friday evening, and it's take me 2 days to recover. I mean, I just be wore out. Because, they will take over, and they just, I was trying to do too much, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't relaxing and wasn't just taking over. You got to let them know up front exactly what's going on so they can know that you mean in business. I put it that way.
Yeah.
Because you don't, they going to beat you down.
Do you usually establish that on Monday morning?
Yeah, exactly. You have to.
Yeah.
Monday morning is just being straight up with everything.
Okay?
At least I try to.
So pretend like me and Jeremy are our new drivers. What's the first thing that you say in orientation on Monday morning?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Do you give like an...
Well, one of the first things
Go ahead.
is he has them introduce themselves
Okay.
and tell a little bit about them, and that helps. I guess
Makes them
before that you
comfortable.
probably
before that,
have
I
some
always
rules.
kind
but-
of just let them relax. And how was your stay at the motel? Guys, we got several things to do, but I just want y'all to relax right now. And here in a minute, you get a chance to meet your recruiters, because they always want to see who they've been talking to for the last 3 months. I said, here in a minute, you're going to get a chance to meet your recruiters. But in the meantime, we got paperwork to do too. So I give them a few minutes to relax, then we go into doing paperwork. You also, by that time, your recruiters come in. And you also have to do, you and Jeremy, y'all got a physical, not also a physical, but we does in-house drug tests. So if you need some water, let me go. No, if you're ready to go, I will go get someone to do your drug test.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I start off.
But he's real good now at setting the tone.
Got it
in
down to a
orientation.
science by
Yeah.
now.
First thing,
Should be.
he's got it down to a science now. I mean, you just got to set the tone of this is how we're going to do things. This is our program, and it's a whole lot smoother if you buy into it than it is to fight
Exactly.
it. And
Now
so,
put the fear of God in them on
so
Monday
he-
morning.
Yeah, I try to. I really do.
he tries to, and he does a good job. So because you can tell, by the end of orientation, they all love him, and they don't even want to leave.
Yeah.
They just want to hang out with Randolph.
I didn't know. So you said you've only been doing it for 10 years?
No,
Orientation?
Doing orientation.
You've only been doing orientation for 10 years?
he recruited for a few years.
Yeah, I
guess.
recruited about 8 years, a long time. I was recruiting and doing orientation.
Uh-huh.
And
My whole-
going to truck shows with me and
Yeah.
everything.
My whole purpose was since I drove, Benny wanted me also in recruiting because, I could go outside and work with them
Yeah.
on hooking up and demoing the trailers. So that was my main purpose. My recruiting part was just give me something to do up to that certain point of going outside working with these guys. But my whole job purpose is to
Then we kind of just incorporated him into the every day,
Every day.
all day, every day orientation.
and I love it. Good job.
Yeah. Couldn't
Good
have picked a better. I mean,
I mean,
Randolph
isn't
and orientation just to me it's synonymous.
yeah, it just
Oh man, thank you, Megan.
You're welcome.
Wow.
I mean, he's found his
Oh,
purpose.
the niche, absolutely. I always get so upset whenever you're on vacation. I'll be
Oh,
talking
man.
to the new hires on Friday, me and Wendy, whatever, and be like, Randolph's on vacation next week. You
Oh,
just
you're
don't
gonna
know
make me
what you're
cry in here,
missing.
Megan. I'm very emotional.
Like you'll
now.
have to,
No.
you'll have to come in the next week and meet Randolph.
Oh,
he spoils all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no doubt.
I try. I enjoy meeting new people from week to week. And as Jeremy stated earlier, getting to know more about them. They always introducing themselves. And you'd be surprised of some of the things these guys go through and come from and what they're doing in life.
Yep.
They have big farms. They have other business that they've been running all their lives. You'd be surprised what they do in life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're people just like we
Yeah.
are.
I mean, lots of people, look at them like, oh, they just truck drivers. These guys got corporations and
Yeah.
had businesses before.
Smart people.
established.
Smart people.
Smart.
Yeah, well established.
Yep.
We have had football players,
Mm-hmm.
professional football players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's pretty wild. That was I remember that was a big deal. I told my dad about it as soon
yeah.
as.
So I enjoy listening to that. And, you know,
So now, you've been doing that for a long time. Well, what's the next chapter looking like at Randolph Rochelle?
oh man.
First
Yeah.
of all, before you answer that, first of all, I give him a hard time. We sit down usually on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come sit down with me because Monday he's busy all the time, and Tuesday he'll come sit over by me, and we check on his health. That's and I've yet to get him at 100%. He always gives me percentage. You know, it's either 65, 75, or, you know, whatever. I can't get him at 100%, but we're working on that.
Girl,
Yeah.
Layla haven't got a weighty. I'm trying though.
So he got over 80.
Do you keep up your? I meant to ask you this. Do you keep up your physical, your DOT physical? Some of the guys will that if we ever have like drivers that retire and come into the office or whatever, they'll keep up their physical after it expires. I didn't know. I've always wanted to ask you that.
No, I don't.
You know.
I have doctor's appointments where they keep up with my health. But
Yeah.
Physical wise, taking the physical every year or every 2 years. I
But
don't.
do you still have your CDL?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have my CDL license.
Wow.
And that's another. This man here have helped me a lot over my last trucking, recruiting years. But I was about to give up my CDL, and Jeremy told me one day, "No, you need to keep that CDL." So I kept it. Yeah. So I still have my CDL, and you just made a good point. I really do need to start taking physicals, at least every year, just to see if I could.
Yeah.
And wanted to go back into trucking or something like that, I could.
Yeah.
But I have not been, but I still have my CDL. And to answer Jeremy's question, what's the next chapter? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, you come to work, or you wake up in the morning and you say, oh man, I'm going to go down. I'm ready to retire, And then the next morning you might wake up, I ain't going to retire. I feel too good. I can do this forever.
Yeah.
So really, I don't know. Eventually, I probably still got a few more years. People ask me every day, when you going to retire?
You
What
think
is
you
going
don't look
on?
old. I don't know
Yeah,
why
I
they
know,
would
man.
ask you
Still
that.
get
It's
around
kind of
just
like
fine.
what we talked about earlier about while you're in the office, they ask me every day, when you going to retire? I'm like, why is you worried about me retiring? I'm not trying to be smart, but
I don't think you look old enough to retire.
No.
no, I don't know. I probably don't look old enough to retire, but your body, it's going to be definitely be based on my body and my wife and my family
Yeah.
when I retire. But
Well,
Right now.
if you retire, you're just going to work harder.
Oh my
I
God.
Because
believe that.
tell them what you do on the side sometimes.
Well,
Yeah, we didn't even get into your hobbies.
yeah, my hobbies I love, but what I do on the side is I mow a few yards. I mow the yards kind of for exercises. My wife tell me all the time, why is you mowing a yard? That's her thing. Why are you going out there mowing the yard, hard as it is, Randolph? Well, Vic, I need some exercises. I need some peace.
Yeah.
Lawnmower give me some peace. Believe it or not. Just
Yeah.
mowing that yard, just,
And
You got a
gives
zero turn?
ma'am.
You got a zero turn?
Yes,
One of those
yes.
fancy ones? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't have
That's
a zero
gravy.
turn.
You don't?
And I don't do a whole lot of weed.
Yes, he does.
Oh.
He's got 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah. I get 2 or 3 of them, but I don't use one most of the time.
Oh.
He talks like he does it for exercise. That's not true.
What do you do it for, Randolph?
Cash in the pocket.
Oh. Those aren't pro bono yards. You're charging
Well-
people for them?
Randolph likes to have a little cash.
Yeah.
Cash in the
side
pocket
hustle.
and my grandkids.
Yeah.
Like today, I'm going to have some cash for them.
There you go.
They don't know it yet. So
Oh, they know it.
That is I don't know, but I'm thinking about it. I don't know when I'm going to eventually.
Sometime in the far, far future.
I love you guys. I enjoy it. And you got to always love what you do, You should.
Yeah.
I love, work folks, like good peoples. Back when Dennis offered me that port job, it made you feel like you was important. Everybody want to feel important. And that's one of the things I does in orientation. You got to make those guys feel important.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
And you just throw them in there like you got to make everybody feel important.
Yeah.
You want to feel important, don't you? You want to feel important, don't
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you can make them feel important and keep a smile on their face, I know I have done my job. Because we want them to be successful. We want you to be successful here at Oakley.
I think
That's-
you're a testament to success at Oakley. You started out
Exactly.
as a driver,
He
ran
is.
a port, started recruiting. Now you're orientation coordinator.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
a big deal.
Yeah, and I want them to be successful. Believe it or not, they don't know this, but I get close to those guys like they get close to me. So I keep record of them sometimes. So when one, I look on there, he been terminated or it's kind of touching you sometimes too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hate to see him leave, but you got to do the right thing regardless.
Yeah.
And that's one of my pet peeves in orientation. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
In life,
Yep.
not just in this orientation, in life. You can just do the right thing.
Words of wisdom.
Yep. From Randolph Rochell himself.
I'm getting
the
okay.
Randolph Rochell.
I'm getting my preaching mode down, so we'll leave that alone. Yeah, but that's so true.
Yeah.
I've been blessed. I've really been blessed. Just 65 years old, 3 kids, beautiful wife. Lord,
Great
grandkid.
co-workers.
Yes.
Great
Don't
co-workers.
forget about the coworkers.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
actually the one thing that I haven't heard you talk about at all. I
Yes,
mean,
Co-workers, I just told you, I love
Yes.
who I'm working with. Great people to work with, always have been. Manley used to dispatch me, Don Griffin, and Jeremy and Scott used to be dispatching me. So they all been great people. They all have helped me through. Roger Carson, shout out to him. He, when I was driving truck, I was driving down Interstate 75, and Roger was over in a rest area somewhere, and I pulled in there. And he asked me, "Hey, you want to run with me?" Truck drivers become buddies too, He said, "You want to run? Where you going, driver?" I said, "I'm going up to Oak Hill, Ohio." He said, "That's where I'm going." I said, "This is my first load. I've never been up there." So he said, "Oh, I've been up there before. Come on, follow me." That's how I got to know Roger.
So you and Roger were driving at the same time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. But that's my life. What a great story.
Yeah. That's why we had you in here. I did want to ask you, Randolph. So, if the day ever comes that you decide to hang it up and retire, which it's going to be very hard to let that happen, just going to give you a forewarning. No one's going to want it to happen. What do you think the future orientation coordinator needs to have? What's that position going to look like? You've been doing it very well for a long time, so you know the ins and outs of everything. What kind of a person would you feel comfortable passing the torch to?
A people person with a good attitude. He got to be a people person. Somebody can relate to all kinds of attitudes. And he got to have a good attitude. He can't just, and what I mean by that, he can't let anything intimidate him, cause him to get frustrated. And another thing you got to have Christ in your life to be an orientation. That's something we need to put in the handbook anyway. You need to have Christ in your life before you can come to Oakley. But yeah, you need to have Christ in your life. Go to church. Get some more wisdom about life and about the Word of God. Because you're going to need that dealing with different peoples. Because you don't know what you're getting every week. If you ain't got a good attitude and you ain't got some Christ in your life, you're going to blow up yourself. You'll lose it. So if I had to pass the torch on, good people, personality, attitude with Christ in your life. Hire somebody that, I go to church. I love God. Because you don't, they're going to blow up. I think. That's my personal opinion. If that's enough.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
That's
That sounds
perfect.
great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I would pass the torch to. You
I
don't
think
need
it's-
somebody that is not in Christ to come over here.
That's a good word to end it on, Randolph.
Yes.
Good advice to end it on right there.
I hope so.
Thank you for sitting down with us,
Yeah.
Hey, I've enjoyed it, man.
visiting with us,
We got scattered.
telling your
there.
story.
Yeah. We got scattered a little bit, but I enjoyed it.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Just another testament of what Oakley has and what Oakley does for people and what Oakley Trucking plays a part in so many lives and makes a difference, in everybody's. We've been working together for a long time,
Yeah.
and it's made a difference in my life for sure. So
All right. I need a tissue.
Look at things and shit. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody listening to this great episode. Randolph Rochell and his life and his story at Oakley Trucking. We really appreciate everybody listening every week. We have a new one coming out every Wednesday. If you got suggestions on some content, some things that you want to hear, you want us to talk to, let us know, man. We would be glad to do it. Questions, yes, questions again. Send us some questions. We'll be glad to answer them. And appreciate everybody listening. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks.